So today we are here to discuss about the Snowflake Cloud Data Warehouse Development Session. Snowflake Cloud Data Warehouse Development Session. So there is a administration also in the Snowflake, which is not going to cover in our session. So we are here to discuss about the development sessions. Okay. Chalo. So what is the meaning of Snowflake? What is the meaning of Snowflake? See, as I mentioned here, Snowflake is a cloud data warehouse which is built on top of three cloud providers. One is AWS, other one is Azure, other one is GCP. First of all, before going to discuss about the what is the meaning of cloud data warehouse and all, guys, can you let me know what is the meaning of data warehouse and how many of you have the knowledge on like data warehouse? If you want, if any of one don't have knowledge on the what is the meaning of traditional data warehouse and all, let me know so that I can discuss from that point of view, and then we'll jump into what is the meaning of cloud data warehouse. Can you let me know? Do we need to discuss the very basics concept of data warehouse, or we'll proceed from here? Snowflake.
I'm okay directly to go for Snowflake.
Others
Have idea on data warehouse, Shekhar.
idea, right?
Yes.
Okay. Con money.
Yeah, we'll go with Snowflake.
We'll go with Snowflake definitions, huh?
Yes.
Yeah, chalo then. Snowflake, as I mentioned, Snowflake is a cloud data warehouse which is built on top of three cloud providers. Let me explain the difference between the normal data warehouse. Can you let me know, guys, anyone, what is the meaning of data warehouse?
So data warehouse is nothing but a collection of all the transactioned processed data to make meaningful insights in terms of business intelligence or AI or machine learning. So this is analytic used for analytic purpose.
Okay. Good. Others?
We can fetch the data from transactional database and we can store it in data warehouse as like dimensions and fact tables. Otherwise, we can store an aggregated data for further decision making purpose we can use.
So what is the meaning of on-prem servers?
Come again?
On-premises services, on-prem servers.
On-prem services like, for example, if any server is there inside the company, that one we can call it as on-premises. Someone is maintaining that's a SQL server or any other servers. That one is cloud related one.
Yeah. One second. So we need to discuss what is the meaning of on-prem servers and all. Okay. See, as we are discussing, Snowflake is a cloud data warehouse. Which is a cloud data warehouse? What is the meaning of cloud? What is the meaning of cloud means? You are using any web browser, and log into your Snowflake account. You are not going to use any physical components. You are not going to use any servers to work with the Snowflake Cloud Data Warehouse. Snowflake Cloud Data Warehouse means cloud means you are using a any web browser or any internet like Google Chrome or Edge, etc. You just need a active internet connection, and then you need any web browser to work with the Snowflake Cloud Data Warehouse. So here in the Snowflake Cloud Data Warehouse, as usual, the meaning of data warehouse, whatever you said, the different guys has given the different transactions data source, a transactional database, collection of a different data sources are going to store into the one central repository or one central data warehouse, and all that is a common. But the difference between the your normal data warehouse and Snowflake Cloud Data Warehouse is the normal data warehouse on-prem data warehouses means you are using a different hardware components to maintain and to work with the your data warehouses. Let's say, suppose your organization was earlier has maintaining the history data or the maintaining the data warehouse in a on-prem SQL Server data warehouse. To maintain that, your organization need to maintain the lot many things like SQL Server. They require SQL Server software. They require hardware resources like memory, processors, okay, CPUs, fine, and lot many things. Lot to maintain those hardware components, we need a human resources also like DBS. We require a DBS. We require a IT engineers. So everything is manually maintained of the on-prem servers. So to maintain the on-prem servers, we have a lot many challenges because whatever you have made the setup with the hardware components, those are the predefined. Suppose your RAM memory is around 16 GB, your storage disk around 1000 TB. Whenever the hardware components are outdated, manually you need to monitor all those things, and manually you need to upgrade the hardware components. Yes or no, guys?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, yes, of course, yeah.
Because we have a predefined hardware resources, right? Always, suppose let's consider your ETL batch is running, ETL jobs are running, which is pulling a data from the different data sources. Daily, the ETL batch, I'm talking about the on-prem server only. I'm not talking about the Snowflake Cloud Data Warehouse. Just I'm discussing the what are the challenges we have in the on-prem servers. So that to overcome that, then we have chosen the Snowflake Cloud Data Warehouse. Let's discuss. We have a ETL batches are running regularly, and extracting the data from the different data sources. Data sources may be anything, either a database, either a file system, either a whatever it is, and pulling the data and then loading the data into your SQL Server data warehouse. Whenever the data is growing, whenever users are increasing, whenever the data is growing, automatically the data is going to load into the physical location of your SQL Server database, SQL Server data warehouse. Let's say we have 1000 TB of storage disk. Once the 1000 TB is completed, one fine day, your ETL batch jobs will go into the infinite loop. The jobs are not going to complete. Always it is showing that the jobs are running. After 24 hours, after 48 hours, after 36 hours, it will throw the error due to the out of space. Like that, suppose you define the RAM, suppose 16 GB or 20 GB, like that. If you define the RAM, if the operations are more and then multiple users and then multiple operations are consumed your memory, then that existing memory consumed will be become 100%, and it will throw the error out of memory. It will not support because you are consuming, your server is consuming, and your users are increased, your data is increased, data is processing in a temporary memory. So due to that, if it become outdated, the finally your on-prem servers will not be respond. Even if you try to write a simple query, select star from employee table, select top 10 star from employee table. Even for the simple query also, your traditional data warehouse will not respond due to the outdated of your hardware resources. For that, what will require? For that, we require a lot many things. So daily we need to monitor your data warehouse, monitor your hardware components. Okay. So if any problems occurs, if out of memory, out of storage means what? Again, you need to communicate. We need to start the channels or communicate with the database administration team. Out of memory, you need to start the communication with the IT infra team. What they will do? They will receive the ticket from your team and then they will start analyze again. They require a multiple approvals to work on that storage issue and then increase the storage issue. So these are the lot many challenges we have with the on-prem servers. So to overcome all those things challenges, we have a cloud data warehouse. Okay. So out of which Snowflake cloud data warehouse is one of the cloud data warehouse. What is the meaning of cloud data warehouse? Means as you are working with the internet and log into the Snowflake account, there is no limit of any of the resources while consuming. Suppose you are loading a data daily, huge data into the Snowflake data warehouse, and suddenly the users are increased who is accessing your Snowflake account. Then also you don't see any issues because the Snowflake has the capacity to provide the all the resources elasticity. What is the meaning of elasticity? It means suppose for the particular day the number of users are loading a data like anything. One user is loading a data 5 GB, another user is loading a data around 10 GB, like that. So how much data you are going to load the into the Snowflake environment, automatically the storage space will be expandable to according to the your data volume. That's why we call it as a elasticity of the resources. Like that someone mentioned it is going to generate the virtual warehouse, right guys? Someone mentioned what is the meaning of Snowflake cloud data warehouse means. It is going to. You mentioned what is that? Can you repeat once again?
Yeah, to create a virtual data warehouses with auto scaling options.
Yeah,
Auto
auto
scaling.
scaling. Auto scaling means elasticity. It is going to create the virtual warehouse means virtual warehouse. See, in the Snowflake virtual warehouse and then your as usual data warehouse, both are the completely different meaning. What is the meaning of virtual warehouse, guys? Any idea? Let me complete. So as I mentioned, so here, so based on the your data volume, automatically the storage space will be provided by the Snowflake environment. For any XYZ reason, it is not going to stop you to load the data or any restrictions is not going to made while loading a data into the Snowflake environment, because as your friend said, so this is the auto scaling or elasticity. Whatever the volume you are going to load into the Snowflake, automatically the storage space will be provided by the Snowflake. So that is one of the beauty with the Snowflake. Next, as we were discussed in the on-prem servers, the memory and all. So here in the Snowflake, virtual warehouses are the hardware components in the Snowflake cloud data warehouse. That is nothing but a kind of memory, CPU, and processors, whatever. To execute your SQLs in your on-prem servers, okay, you require your CPUs, you require a memory and all. The exactly all those components are replaced in the Snowflake called virtual warehouses, which is nothing but a kind of a hardware resource in the on-prem servers. Without this virtual warehouse in the Snowflake, your Snowflake will not work, or your Snowflake or your SQL components will not be executed without the virtual warehouse. So this is the computing resource. This is the computing resource in the Snowflake environment to to perform any task in your Snowflake environment, you must require your virtual warehouses. Don't worry, I will show you everything. I will create all these things. I will show you everything how it is going to work under. Just try to understand. Virtual warehouses is the computing resources where perform your all the tasks. You need a virtual warehouse. This is one of the concept. This is the one of the object in the Snowflake environment. How you are going to create a table, how you are going to create a database. Like that, you are going to create a one virtual warehouse, which is a computing resource which is required to perform all your tasks in the Snowflake environment. The next question is this computing warehouse, this virtual warehouses like a hardware resources. How you are going to build your memory with the 16 GB? How you are going to design your hardware disk, storage disk to the 5000 TB like that? Like that, this is a virtual warehouse which is a computing resource. This virtual warehouse also will be having a different size. How we are going to measure our shirt size or t-shirt size? Small, medium, large, XL, double XL, triple XL, etc. The virtual warehouse size will be the different sizes. According to the your requirement, according to the number of users, according to the your operations, according to the your storage, according to the your data load into the your Snowflake environment, then your project will people decide and then create with the one virtual warehouse size. Suppose let's consider my project is required large virtual warehouse. My project is required medium virtual warehouse. So they will create the virtual warehouse with the different sizes. So based on that, you can able to perform everything in your Snowflake environment and see the very good performance in all the operations. So here there is no concept of any hardware resources in the Snowflake cloud data warehouse. In the Snowflake cloud data warehouse. Okay, that's why we call it as a Snowflake is a cloud data warehouse. Cloud data warehouse nothing but you are using a web browser or a internet to log into the Snowflake environment. Once you log into the Snowflake environment, there is no limitations of usage of your Snowflake environment. There are no hardware resources are involved. There are no hardware resources are involved in a Snowflake cloud data warehouse to work with the Snowflake cloud data warehouse or to maintain the Snowflake cloud data warehouse. Next thing is, so here in the Snowflake environment, there is no manual dependency. To maintain your data warehouse, because see, in the on-prem servers, you need a database administrator, you need a infrastructure engineer, to manage or to monitor your data warehouses. Because if something happens, if the storage location is full, if the memory is full, if your hardware resource having a trouble, then you need a human resources. In the Snowflake cloud data warehouse, there is no manual intervention. Automatically, everything will be taken care by your Snowflake environment only. Suppose let's consider you have a robust, complex SQL code in your Snowflake. The Snowflake architecture they have designed in such a way that automatically performance tuning will be handled by the Snowflake environment only. At the most, in worst case, as a data engineer, you are going to work with the performance optimization of your SQL code. But architecture, we will discuss all those things. Architecture, they have designed in such a way that if you load the data, if you retrieve the data, by considering all the performance point of view, they have designed the Snowflake architecture. Okay, that's why you no need to manually intervention in the Snowflake cloud data warehouse. Automatically, everything will be taken care by Snowflake only. Snowflake, with the difference between the cloud data warehouse and then on-prem data warehouse means there are we have a lot of challenges. There are limitations, and we require a manual resources there to maintain your data warehouse. To overcome all those things, we have a Snowflake cloud data warehouse. There is no manual intervention, there is no limitations, there is no challenges. Everything will be taken care by Snowflake environment only. For example, data load, there is no limitations. If you load 100 TB of data, then it is going to allow and it is going to expand its storage location for the particular request while loading a data into the Snowflake cloud data warehouse based on the data warehouse. Suppose you have 1,000 users, thousands users are at a time working with the Snowflake cloud data warehouse, If thousands users are applying or thousands users are connecting to the Snowflake cloud data warehouse, then also it is not going to give the performance issue because of based on the operations, based on the request, the users are submitting to the Snowflake cloud data warehouse. Internally, it will calculate how much resources are required to complete all those input requests. Automatically, the required hardware resources means in the Snowflake environment, always you need to keep in your mind that hardware resources in the Snowflake environment means it is virtual warehouse only. The warehouse is different, virtual warehouse is different. Warehouse is where you are going to load the data into the data warehouse, that is the data warehouse. Virtual warehouse is computing resources in the Snowflake environment. So we were discussing that at a time 1,000 users are concurrent users are connecting to the your Snowflake environment, and 1,000 users are applying or using or connecting to the your Snowflake environment. Internally, the Snowflake has a capability to calculate how many requests are submitted and how much the resources are required to complete all those requests on time without giving the any performance issues. Automatically, the Snowflake has a capability to increase the required hardware resources, That's why we call it as a Snowflake is a cloud data warehouse. So there is no limitations. Automatically hardware resources are provided. Automatically the storage location is provided. There is no manual intervention. Automatically the performance tuning is also taken care by Snowflake environment. Automatically the performance tuning is also taken care by Snowflake environment. So that's why we call it as a Snowflake cloud data warehouse, and which is built on top of the AWS or Azure or GCP. The meaning is, instead of maintaining the Snowflake its own data centers, it is rely on the existing data centers of the other like cloud products. So whatever the data, so it has not built its own infra, because to save some cost, because to save some time, instead of maintaining its own platform again to store the data, then it is made the connection with the existing providers and then started using their data centers and they load the data into their data centers. What is the meaning of data centers, guys?
So it's a massive machines with holds all the data. So
Yeah, recently, suppose let's consider. Recently, there is a news that in Andhra Pradesh, they are going to start the very big data centers of the Google company, which is a very larger in the world, because so that is one of the data center they are going to start in the Andhra Pradesh. That is a new deal. Their business data is going to store into that data centers. Data center means what? Suppose let's consider you are working on the SQL server or you are working on the Oracle. There will be not only a single data centers. There will be a multiple data centers based on the different reasons. If the one data center failed, unfortunately, automatically they have made the mechanism, they have made the configurations, they have made the setup. Automatically, it will switch into the data center A to the data center B, because it should not create any interrupt, it should not create any problem, so that it is going to switch from the data center A to the data center B, and then it will start working. Data centers means what? Whatever you are going to store the data into the database or a data warehouse, that data is going to store into the data warehouse, okay, data centers, and that data centers will be a highly secured and data encrypted. No third party tools or no third party resources can be able to read the business data, whatever you are going to store into the Snowflake Cloud Data Warehouse, and which is going to store into the data centers. While loading the data or while retrieving the data, no mechanism cannot be understand or read the your business data, because end to end 100% it is high secured and then completely completely encrypted data. Okay, while loading a data from the Snowflake itself and then storing into the data centers, it will encrypt and then store. While bringing the data, it will encrypt and then bring the data display to the end user, Snowflake users. So the meaning which is built on top of the three cloud providers means they have made the agreement and they have made the connections and they have made the what is it set up with the those three cloud providers, and then they are going to use their existing cloud providers and then storing the data into these three cloud providers. Because see, again, instead of building your own infra, instead of your building own setup, again it is time consuming, and then your money is also little bit you can able to save. That's what that is. Snowflake is a cloud data warehouse which is built on top of three cloud providers. Now tell me guys, anyone has anyone has any uh, uh, a gap on this discussion? Let me know. Whatever we have discussed so far, any questions?
Shekhar, you said like optimization, everything will take care of Snowflake. So, for example, I written in code in thousands of line. It is taking, for example, 1 hour or 2 hours. So, modification, rewriting the code, it will take care of Snowflake.
No. I
What
will
kind
tell
of?
you. I will tell you. Suppose example. Usually, why it is going to take the time? Why we will get the performance issues? For what cause? While retrieving the data from the database or database, right? Yes or no? See, you have written your SQL complex code. You have written your bad code. Usually, whether it is a bad code, whether it is a good code, or whether it is a super extraordinary code, we mentioned that we get the performance issue because of it is taking the time to read the data from the database. Yes or no?
Yes.
The Snowflake, what is? I will come to your point. The Snowflake, they have designed their architecture in such a way that so there are some mechanisms. While reading a data from your Snowflake Cloud Data Warehouse, it will automatically perform the, it will automatically perform the, it will automatically give the good performance improvement, the by default architecture. And also you have some other components also in the Snowflake environment. If you use those, we will discuss all these things. If you discuss all those components, automatically you see the performance improvement. But on top of that, still, if you see the performance improvement, then you need to look into your bad code. But comparing to the other data warehouses and other databases, it is the machine, the architecture they have designed, and they have components to boost your, to increase your performance improvement of your SQL code automatically. But still, so we will get the lot of issues, performance issues also. But if still, if you see the performance improvement, then you need to uh, troubleshoot your bad code and then rectify it. Okay.
Okay. Where we will create, for example, like
Sorry.
which one you will use to create the Snowflake, like AWS or Azure or GCP?
Yeah, see, that is your organization, dish, your
No, no.
organization.
I'm asking demo purpose from your side, where you
I
want
use
to.
AWS
Okay.
because so far I have worked on the AWS and Snowflake combination. I know how to create the AWS account. I know how to make the connections between the two, and everything I will show you. Okay, we will work on the combination of AWS and then Snowflake. Okay,
Okay.
Yep.
next.
So, what is the course duration?
No, no, no,
Okay.
no, 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 no. We will come to that. Just I'm asking about the any gaps in this discussion.
Okay. Okay.
See the one like second, like you mentioned, is like a shared data, right? Data sharing. Like data can be Snowflake can share the data across the multi-cloud and also on-premise to cloud or vice versa, right? Read and write.
Yes, yeah, you can do that. You can do that. If you have a data in your on-prem servers, you want to bring that you want to bring that into Snowflake, right? That is your question.
Uh, yeah, into the cloud. Yeah, any of the Snowflake
Yes,
cloud.
yes, you can do that.
And also multi-cloud as well, from Azure
Mm,
to
mm,
AWS.
mm. To do that, you need some ETL background.
Yeah. So no, I like I worked on Databricks heavily. So
Yeah, you can do that. While completely same. How you are going to work with the other data warehouses? You can do all this thing using Python, using ETL, everything you can able to do. But you have it's your own beauty of your Snowflake compared to other data warehouse,
okay,
right? So Snowflake can be called as a software as a software as a services, because this Snowflake, there is no any other third party software you need to install. You no need to maintain any hardware resources. You no need to do nothing. So this Snowflake itself as a behave as a software, so that this can be called as a software as a services. So what is the meaning of software as a services means? Already I told all this. Already I mentioned all these points. Already I mentioned all these points. See, there is no hardware resources to install. There is no configurations. You no need to manage your servers. There is no virtually software to install, configure or manage. Ongoing maintenance, management, upgrade and tuning are handled by a Snowflake. That's why we can call it as a software as a services. Software as a services. I mentioned already. You no need to take care anything from your organization, or manual interventions are not required. You no need to install any software. You no need to upgrade any softwares. You no need to configure hardware resources. You no need to take care of. You no need to take care of your tuning. Everything is taken care by. Everything is taken care by your Snowflake only. That's why we can call it as a Snowflake as a services. Snowflake as a services. We have some lot of features. We will discuss all these things. It will take completely one separate session to discuss about the features. We will discuss tomorrow. And then what is the course content? This is the course content, guys. This is the course content. Whatever you are seeing in the screen, this is our Snowflake Cloud Data Warehouse development session. Okay, the duration of this course is around 30 to 35 sessions daily. We will be having a 1 hour daily. We will be having a 1 hour. Whatever you are seeing in the screen, we are going to cover all these covers. Additionally, some knowledge on AWS. How do you create the AWS account? How do you make the connection between the two Snowflake environment and the Snowflake environment? And then how do you load the files into the AWS environment? And how do you transfer that file data into the Snowflake file data into the Snowflake environment, and from the Snowflake environment, how do you load the data into the AWS environment, vice versa. All these things, I am going to show you, and then we are going to discuss that also, so that you can mention in the resume you have worked with the Snowflake and then AWS environments. You have a good commanding on the both the environments. Prerequisite for our course is, it will be good if you have a SQL knowledge. If don't have SQL knowledge, then for sure you need to brush up your SQL knowledge and then parallelly work with the Snowflake course, because as a data engineer, as a Snowflake developer, you enter into the projects. Majorly 80% of the work you will get into the Snowflake cloud only. Who has already experience on the SQL code, which is very much easy. There is no difference. Just the syntaxes will be different. How you are going to write your joins, subqueries, views, and operators on where conditions, union all, and stored procedures and all. Everything is same. But additionally, we have a lot of Snowflake features and concepts that you need to learn. Like suppose while working with the CDC, change data captures, you need to work with the streams concepts, and while working with the or scheduling the data loading automatically, then you need to work with the Snowflake snow pipes. Okay, and while scheduling the SQL to execute automatically for the particular time, then you need to work with the Snowflake task concepts. Like that, you have uh, a lot of beautiful concepts in the Snowflake environment, which we are going to cover all those things. So if you have a SQL knowledge, then it will become a very much easy. Daily we are going to discuss Snowflake concepts only as part of our sessions. Anyone if don't have the SQL knowledge, please, I can recommend to brush up your SQL knowledge. Then it will become a very easy. Okay, very easy. So, and after completion of our SQL course, after completion of our SQL course, I am going to provide and help you to provide the some important and frequently asked questions in the market. See, after completion of the some XYZ topic for the particular day, immediately after completion of the session, then I am going to share the uh, required material documents and the required FAQs also daily basis. If you thoroughly go through all those things, then you are done almost. After completion of our course, we are going to discuss what are the frequently asked questions in our session, and also I am going to help you to prepare the resume and try to provide some project explanations. So if 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 at that time, if I come across any openings, if I come across any openings, I will try to share the details also, so that you can apply. And also, if I get any references, I will give the point of contacts or references to proceed further. At that time, if I get if I come to know there are opening in some XYZ company, and then there are some known channels in that company, so that I can share all those things with you. You can try and you can start applying the jobs in that channels. If you luckily, if it is going to work, then it will be helpful. Or else you need to start work with the market. But whatever we need to do from our end, maximum we will try to support you. And also you also, and you guys also, until you get the job. If you keep in touch with if you keep touch with us, then it will be good for you. And whatever, if you get the new questions, then we are going to discuss on those things, and try to give the inputs to those concepts. So this is our course details, guys. Okay, this is our course details. Any doubts in this?
Hello, sir.
Yeah, go ahead, Dio. You have a question?
Hello, Shekhar sir.
Mm-hmm.
Sir, I have knowledge in the SQL and Oracle, but I haven't knowledge on Snowflake. So how to work is
Sorry,
so
you have knowledge in the
SQL Oracle,
mm-hmm.
but I haven't knowledge for Snowflake. So how to work, and that's
that is
why.
that is what we are going to discuss as part of our session, right? If you have any of the one SQL knowledge, that is good. I'm not telling You need to have a knowledge on the Snowflake SQL. No, if you have any kind of SQL knowledge on any database, that is more than enough.
Okay, sir. Okay, fine.
So, Shekhar, I have some questions and requests
Yeah,
to
sure,
you.
sure. Please proceed.
Few questions I have, like,
Your voice is very less actually.
oh, are you able to hear me now? Hello?
Yeah, I can able to hear you.
Okay.
What is the time now? What is the time now in your area, Muthu?
2 o'clock, 2:45 morning.
Morning.
I have to go and sleep after this.
Okay, got it. Yeah.
So, so thanks, Shekhar. Like, Snowflake Cloud account, right? Will you be able to provide after the training cloud account? You have anything like that, or what is your?
No. We can create ourselves. I will show you how do you create one of if one it is going to use the 30 days. After that, you can
Yeah.
create one more account.
Okay, we don't require any credit card, debit card,
No,
different card.
nothing. You just using your existing same email ID. You can create the multiple accounts.
Okay, same
No
email
need to
ID.
worry.
Okay, that is good. And also, I have a few more questions. Hands-on project, like, do you have any capstone project like that? So, for example, insurance industry or airline, or do you have any design already, like where we can work on or doing exercise kind of thing, or like how the hands-on
So
learning will be?
actually, in the regular classes, I will try to provide the maximum whatever the scenarios we are going to cover in the projects. Those things we are going to discuss daily. But yes, after completion of the course, just I will give the document which is for help where you are going to design your project, how you are going to get the requirement. So whatever solution you are going to give, just I am going to the document to you. If you go through that, then you will understand the things. Okay.
Okay, okay. And also, Shekhar, do you support any certification help? For example, if
So
I want to
is
write
it?
a Snow Pro,
Yeah. See, after completion of this course, you can start attending to the Snow Pro course certificate.
that is a separate course, or like directly I can go for certification once I practice
Directly,
Java.
directly you can go for your certification by refreshing all your Snowflake concepts.
Okay, okay. And also, you said you'll give some job support, right? In the meantime, if I get any job, you'll give job support as
That's
well,
right.
right?
That's right. At that time, if I get to know any openings, if I have any point of contact for that, surely I will share.
Okay, okay. No, what I meant is like if I get a job before that, right? Look, if
Hmm.
I struck anything on the Snowflake, will you be able to help?
Sure.
Okay. And also, this course is like a 35 days, Shekhar. For my need is a very, because at the moment I'm looking for a job, right? Do you offer any crash course? Because,
No, no.
okay, okay,
No. This is a regular batch. We don't have any other crash course. We don't have any other batches also. Recently, other batches are completed. We don't have parallel sessions also.
okay. So any weekend crash courses like 2 days
No,
you're
no,
offering?
no, 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 no. I'm very much busy. I don't prefer to have any weekend. That is for my personal life.
Okay, this course will be Monday to Friday, 6 a.m. Indian time, right? Every
Same
week,
Indian time. Yes, yeah.
Monday to Friday.
Monday to Friday only. Yeah.
Okay,
I
okay.
got your questions, but unfortunately, we don't have that setup crash course and all. Yeah.
Uh,
You
oh,
need
okay.
to you need
Because
to
I'm
go.
getting some job interviewers are calling me because I have some knowledge. So little bit of I'm not very confident if I go for a new job with this just half like a quarter baked skills. Like it
One
is
sec.
not
One second. One second.
yeah.
Yeah, Muthu. I understand your question, but unfortunately, we don't have crash course for that.
Okay, yeah. No worries, Shekhar. Yeah, no worries. Yeah.
Any other questions, guys?
Within 35 days, we can cover all the topics, Shekhar,
Yes,
related.
yes. Yeah.
So whatever we are seeing, that is the only concepts in Snowflake, or
Yes,
apart?
yeah.
So,
Okay.
Shekhar, like once Snowflake comes in, like it is a industry-wide everywhere asking, right? Industries are asking Snowflake developer. So is it going to replace other things? Do you think like Databricks or any other equivalent ETL process with this one
No,
where
no,
we
no,
can?
no, 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 no. It is not going to replace all those things. How we have a SQL Server, Oracle, Teradata, and all like that. This is also one of the cloud data warehouse. It is not going to replace the data world.
Okay. So it is mainly for a BA, right? But it is a
Yes,
machine
yeah,
learning
yeah, yeah.
or
This is
AI
for the analytics.
analytics. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Any other
Oh,
questions, guys? Because I have other batch there. I need to jump into there. If you have any questions, you can ask me. Else, we will connect tomorrow at sharp 6 a.m. Today there is some miscommunication with the organization, so that I joined little bit delay. But usually I don't join delay. Okay, I will be on time before 1 or 2 minutes. I will join. Tomorrow we are going to start sharp at 6 o'clock. Okay, guys.
Okay.
yeah, sure.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Shekhar. Thank you very
Okay.
much.
Thank you.
Sure, then we will discuss by tomorrow.
Yep,
Yes,
yep.
sir. Yes. Thank you.
Bye.
We will continue remaining topics. Bye. Thank you.
Bye bye.